Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit of a fun one. We're doing some pantry organization and I'm going to take you guys along shopping with me while I buy all the things to organize my pantry, and then I'm going to take you guys to the farmer's market to buy all my fruit and veg to stock the fridge. And before I go shopping, I like to make sure I've got all my bags packed and ready to go. So I have my market tote, and then we have our plastic-free bags, which are from our store, the Wholesome store. See, these super cute. And these can carry fruit and veg, but also they can carry like nuts and seeds and pasta and things like that. So this is my current pantry situation. It's pretty messy and I want to organize it much better. So I'm going to head to the shops and fill up all the jars that need filling, and I've also got some extra jars that I bought on the weekend. I need to organize it so it's easy to grab everything. And then this is the other side of our pantry, which is where I store more of like my everyday condiments and spices and things, which looks like an absolute mess and it's not organized very well. So I want to also organize this. So yeah, I'm going to head to the shops and get all the pantry staples and then show you guys how I organize it. So the first stop is Naked Foods at Robina. We're heading there to get all our dry goods because it is a completely plastic-free bulk food store and you can get lots of good stuff there, and I really love it because you can get just as much as you need. So we're going to head there first and get the stuff for our pantry. This is a dangerous place for you. These are dangerous. Hey guys, so it's the next day. I went shopping yesterday and today I'm going to show you how I am going to organize my pantry. So I'm going to get out all of my jars and my label machine and show you what I'm going to do. Got all the jars out and I put all the empty ones over here and the foolish ones over here. All my goodies from Naked Foods over there, and I'm just going to start by filling up the jars that I already got and making some new ones. This is my label maker and it is a DYMO. There it is. I bought this one pretty cheap, and then you just buy the tape to go inside of it. And yeah, you just punch in all the letters and numbers and make your labels that look like this, which makes the pantry look much more organized and easy to find what you're after. And in case you guys are wondering, these jars here are from Seed and Sprout and they come in different packs of jars like this one as well. And I went to IKEA on the weekend and I got a bunch of jars like this. They're got the same wood top, but I don't think they are quite as good of quality, but they are much cheaper. And they also have different shapes and sizes too. So the label maker that I'm using is called the DYMO Organizer Express Embosser, and I found mine at Officeworks here in Australia for $26. I've also found it online for as low as $14, so if you're overseas you'll probably be able to find it via Google, and it's super affordable, so definitely worth checking out. I love it so much because it just makes my pantry look so much more organized when everything is in their place with their label. And also I like to use it when I am styling some dishes or making sauces and condiments to put in the fridge, and then I can just pop the label on it and know what it is in a week's time. And also when I run out of something in the pantry, it's easy to prompt my memory of what I needed to top up on. So I wanted to keep this video super real and super honest with you guys. So as you can see, not everything has come from a plastic-free bulk store because they don't have everything, or I already had quite a lot of products already in my pantry, and I'll be transitioning to buying those bulk in future. But I'm just using up what I have as well and filling them up into the jars that I've bought. So while the bamboo top jars do look really pretty lined up in your pantry, if you want a more cost-effective option, try recycling some juice, jam, nut butter or sauerkraut jars. That way there is no cost associated with getting a collection of jars, and it's a great way to reuse items in your pantry. So this is all the things that I have jarred up so far. I thought that I had so many jars, but I actually need so many more. Naked Foods also have a range of things already in jars like this. So you could do all matching jars from their shop. I think eventually I'd like to do this with all my herbs and spices as well in their mini jars, so that it all looks super organized, and then I can pop my little labels on it too. Okay, so now that I have filled up all of my jars, it's time to organize my pantry. And my favorite way to do that is by organizing the foods by their food groups. Group them all in how I would use them. So if I would use flowers together, I'd put all the flowers together. Anything for smoothies like protein or cacao powder, I'd put them together. And then I'd keep all my seeds like hemp seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, the nuts, and keep my pastas and my other grains like rice and quinoa. And then I basically will organize it from there. I have some shelving, which I'm going to show you guys in a second. I've got 2 of those, which I'll put into the cupboard to help me to see the things up the back. And then I have these buckets here with organized in the other part of my pantry. So the first pantry that I've organized is our pull-out one. And this is kind of the one that I use for when I'm cooking. And so I like to have everything that's easy to access from this side, because I would be cooking here and need to grab things as I go. Hence, I've got like all the nut butters up the top. And then the next shelf is all our sauces, and I've got these boxes that I got from IKEA just to hold them all in there, because when we open it and close it, if I don't have those, all the bottles fall over and it's a pain in the butt, which Alex thinks will make it hard to find out what everything is. But I know what everything is, so I think that's a good idea. And then this is my spice shelf, and eventually I definitely want to have this all organized in individual jars like this, and that way I won't need to put them in this baking dish to stop them all rattling and falling over. But for the moment, this will do. Some extra chia seeds and sesame seeds, salt and pepper, etc. This is basically like all my spare packets of weird and wonderful grains and flours. As you can imagine, I do food styling and cooking recipes for a job, so I have lots of weird and wonderful ingredients that I don't use every day. So eventually they would probably turn into jars if I use them often, but otherwise this will be where I'll keep them. And then this again is just like rando things. Just having it like organized makes it feel so much easier to find things. This is the first part, and I'm just going to start by putting in my shelves. So this one is going to go in here. I've finished my pantry organizing. I'm going to take you through how I've done it now. At the top I have some supplements. On this shelf I have like the grains and some other little bits and bobs. And I have like nuts and seeds and sweeteners and proteins. They're kind of things I'd use for making smoothies. Got all my Unicorn Superfoods powders, Flora health products, these herbal mushroom teas. And we had extra room down the bottom with nothing in it, so I've put some of my red wine. So that is so much more organized than what it was before. Makes me feel so happy seeing it like this.
crazy, but it makes sense.
So we're heading out to the farmers market now because they're on every Saturday, really close to where we live. We're very fortunate. So going to the markets is all about being organised. I have my basket and my reusable bags for all the fruit and veggies.
Husband to carry them.
And of course bring a husband with those strong muscles. And also because it's a Saturday, you have to be organised to go that day, and having cash as well, because most places accept cash only. But I really love doing this because mostly everything is plastic free, so it's easy to like shop low plastic. You get to meet some local farmers, get local produce, and everything's very seasonal, and it's just a really nice experience. And I also really like grabbing some breakfast there, so I've got a little dish that I really love, and I'll show you guys. So I have my list, and I'm really old school. I like to handwrite things, and then I pack a pen so I can cross it off as I go.
Avocado. You got pesto today?
So this is my favourite little healthy breakfast to have at the markets. It's like a buckwheat crepe. It's got like truffle, mushrooms, and I add avocado and get the vegan version without egg. And it's like so good. So delicious. The hardest thing is just like working your way around it, because it's like as big as my head. Okay, so we just got back from the farmers market, and now I'm going to unpack everything and show you guys how I like to organize all my fruit and veg. So the first thing that I do when I get home from the farmers market is lay out everything that I've bought on the counter so I can see what I got, see where it needs to go, and if any of it needs to be prepped before it goes into the fridge. I'm going to show you guys everything that I got. As it's winter here in Australia, you'll notice it is winter fruits and vegetables, which means there's lots of leafy greens, beans, pumpkin, Brussels sprouts, garlic and chili. Have some local blueberries, and I wanted to try a couple of other new things like this flu shot and the black sapote fruit, which I'd never tried before. I just love exploring them and seeing what new things are in season at the moment and what is grown locally here in Queensland. I also then like to take a little iPhone story for my Saturday morning to share on Instagram. Something that I've been doing for a while now, which has really changed everything for me, is prepping my herbs and greens into individual airtight containers. I've just found that it really helps them to last the full week without going floppy or going all brown. So I like to just chop them and prep them and give some things a rinse if they're not organic, and then pop them into a container, seal it and pop it in the fridge. It seriously does make a big difference to the amount of time your veggies will last. If you guys have any other tips for the fridge, comment them below so I can check them out. Oh, and I found these shelling peas at the markets because they're a winter vegetable, and I just basically prepped them into a little container and popped them in the freezer so that they would last past the fresh ones, and then I'd have them for whenever I need some peas. So guys, that is my shopping from the farmer's market for this week. Obviously it's just me and Alex, we're not like a family or anything, so it's just the two of us, so I don't go crazy and buy a lot of stuff because I don't like when things go off and I can't use them in time and then I have to throw them in the bin. It makes me really upset. So I'd rather just get like a little bit of like the necessities and the things that I know I'll use, or the things that I'll make myself use if I have them. And yeah, I've still got to go to another shop to pick up some other goodies. I usually like to go to like one of the big fruit markets, or if I don't have time to get there in those working hours, I head to one of the supermarkets and get things like beans, tofu, yogurt, plant milk that I need for the pantry and the fridge. But I usually do that during the week or whenever I have the time. Yeah, I hope you like coming along to my farmers markets with me and see the kinds of things that I like to buy. Much prefer heading to the farmers market if I can, and I encourage you guys to look up any near you and go check them out if you haven't before. If you don't have any near you, maybe there is some other kinds of services. I know some organic farmers will do like drop-off boxes, so just have a look what's in your local area, checking out Gumtree, Facebook, or just having a bit of a Google search. So yeah, this is some of the other stuff I would usually grab. Beans, lots of beans. I got some kimchi. I've never tried this brand, but it looks really yummy. Some tomato paste, more beans. This is my favorite coconut yogurt, and I grabbed the strawberry flavor this time. I like to sometimes have a couple of these in the cupboard for like a quick, easy meal, kind of just like a instant meal, but they're just for like emergencies really. We're having a burger night this week, so I got some vegan cheese, my favorite kombucha at the moment. I'm obsessed with it. Alex gets his organic eggs. Wanted to try out these ones by Nutty Bruce. So this is what our fridge for the week looks like, and I keep all my veggies on one side, fruit on the other side. In winter we don't actually eat as much fruit as summer, so that's usually not quite as full. Dad's been visiting, so we've got some milk and beer, and then I've organized all my greens into containers, and I have mushrooms, lettuce, berries and flowers. And then I try to just like keep everything neat up the top. I got my like fermented foods here, olives and olive paste, probiotic drink, yogurt, open sauces, and then I keep like all my sauces on this shelf, supplements, and then like small goods up the top, and of course my oat milk, chai, which is really delicious, the iron supplement I use, and up the top I keep like a protein section. So we have like our vegan cheeses, chocolate, tofu in the container, eggs, and veggie patties. So another cool thing that I'm going to be doing is getting this produce from Suncoast Fresh, who supply lots of cafes and restaurants on the Gold Coast. And he's basically going to provide me with some cool seasonal local fruits and vegetables for me to style and use for my food photography. So this week I got this epic looking cauliflower. Look at that. How amazing. And we've got some of these baby pumpkins, which I could use to stuff or make something. Sugar snap peas, and we have some green beans, some navel oranges because they're fully in season at the moment. And for my food styling, I got some edible flowers, and they came in a paper bag rather than plastic. I've just popped them in this to go in my fridge. These awesome mushrooms, I've never seen anything like it. How amazing. So I'm really excited to cook with these. They're called chestnut mushrooms, and I'm going to put them in a risotto or some kind of pasta dish, I think. this guy is really, really exciting to me. So this is a lion's mane mushroom. Now you've probably heard of these in superfood powders. We actually put them in our ultimate smoothie blends, the powder version. So they are super rich in nutrients and so interesting looking. So I'm actually really excited to try what it tastes like as a whole mushroom. How cool. And I love that all of this comes plastic free. It's really cool. And yeah, supporting some local farmers who are producing some interesting and different kinds of fruits and vegetables. Well guys, that concludes my pantry organisation and plastic-free shopping video. Hope you guys have enjoyed following along on how I like to organise my pantry and do my weekly food shop. Obviously, organising a pantry and a fridge is really specific to how you like to prepare food and eat. So everyone is going to be different with how they like to do it. This is just me personally. I like everything labelled and in jars and organised so I can see everything clearly. If you guys have any other tips for me or other ways that you like to organise things, let me know. I'd love to read how you organise your pantries. And I hope this brings you some inspiration to go plastic free this July. And obviously none of us are perfect and we're never going to be 100% perfect, but we can all try to make a difference. And if all of us make just a small difference, it is going to make a big difference overall. So thank you guys for watching and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye!